In this video, I'm going to show you some easy parity cases where you can use some setup moves either before your OLL or PLL parity algorithm. Okay, so we'll start out with some modifications to the OLL parity algorithm. So here we have a case where we have a bar on the front there, a bar on the right like that, and these three edges are all misoriented. So if we do a B prime, R prime, and then do the OLL parity algorithm, and then do an R, B, that will solve that OLL case for us. You might run into a case where you have all your corners and three edges oriented, so you only have one edge pair that you need to flip. So in a case like this, what I would do is move it to the back, then do F, R, U, R prime, U prime, F prime, then do a U, and now we've got the case where doing the regular OLL parity algorithm will actually complete our OLL. And there we go, we've got the OLL solved. Alright, here's another pretty easy case to recognize. So we've got three edges oriented, one misoriented at the front here, and we've got this yellow bar at the front like that, and this corner is oriented, but this corner is misoriented. So we can actually hold it so the edges at the left, do an R prime, U prime, R, so we get this bar at the front, and then when we do our OLL parity algorithm, and then undo the setup moves, R prime, U, R, then we skip the OLL using those moves. Okay, now on to some PLL parity cases. Here we have a case where we have two adjacent edges that we need to swap. So in this example, I would do RU, R prime, U prime, then do my PLL parity algorithm, and then reinsert that F2L pair. In the case where we have two corners that need to be swapped adjacent to one another, it obviously makes sense to swap these two edges instead of these two, because if we swap these two at the front and back, then we'll end up with an F permutation as this bar will be preserved. So it makes sense to swap these two. However, for example, if we're holding it in this orientation, then it also makes even more sense to do the T permutation first and then do the PLL parity algorithm to swap those two edges. Because if we rotated or did a U, then we would have to do the PLL parity algorithm, then rotate back and then do a T permutation. Whereas if we do a T permutation and then rotate either way, then we can just do our PLL parity algorithm after it like that. Okay, here I have two PLL parity cases which are mirrors of one another. So here we have this corner edge corner bar as well as this edge corner edge block like that. So those three there and the bar on the left. Again, we have the bar on the left, but we have the corner edge block in the front position here. So here we've got the block at the back, and here we've got the block at the front. And in both cases, we've got the bar on the left. So how I would execute this first one, these cases are also fairly easy to recognize. I would execute this first one by simply doing the PLL parity algorithm from this angle, and then doing the J permutation. However, in this case, if we do our PLL parity algorithm, we end up with this J permutation, which isn't as easy to execute on a 4x4 especially. So what I normally do is do a J permutation first, and then do my PLL parity algorithm afterwards, like that. Another easy case with PLL parity is this E permutation with two edges swapped. So here we have these two corners that need to be swapped, and these two corners that need to be swapped, but we have these two edges that need to be swapped as well. So we have parity. To execute this algorithm, or to solve this case, I would do the first half of the Y permutation, so F, R, U prime, R prime, U prime, R, U, R prime, F prime. Then from there, I execute my PLL parity algorithm, so the standard PLL parity algorithm, and then do a U2 after that, and then finish off the second half of the Y permutation by doing a sexy move, then a sledgehammer, and then that's solved. So that case can be a little bit difficult to recognize and can be often confused with this case, which also has a two edge swap and an E permutation on the left and right like that. So these two swapped, and the front and back edges swapped, whereas here we have the left and right edges swapped. The main thing to do to recognize, to differentiate between these two cases is to look at any edge corner edge bar, edge corner edge block, and here we have all four colors around this edge corner edge block. So we have green, orange, blue, red, whereas around each of these four edge corner blocks we have two repeated colors. So we have orange, green, or green, red, for example. Whereas here, looking at any edge corner edge block, we have the four different colors. So red, green, orange, blue, like that. So those were just some easy variants or modifications to the OLL and PLL parity algorithms that you can use to solve certain cases in 4x4 solves. So I hope they were useful.